Welcome to the next topic, thermodynamic processes. It is a process in which there is some change in pressure, volume, or temperature of a system. That means thermodynamic processes are the processes in which the system undergoes a change in any of the thermodynamic variables. Mainly, we take four thermodynamic processes: isothermal, isobaric, isochoric, and adiabatic. Isothermal process is a process in which temperature remains constant, and isobaric process, it is a process in which pressure remains constant, and in isochoric process volume remains constant, and in adiabatic process there is no heat exchange between the system and surroundings. That means delta Q equal to 0. We will be discussing in detail about these processes. Before that, let's discuss a term called quasi-static process. Quasi-static process is a process in which the system and surroundings appears to be static. That means at any instant we don't have a feeling that the system and surroundings are undergoing a change. Such processes are called as quasi-static process. So for a thermodynamic process to be quasi-static, it should take place at an extremely slow rate. The speed of change, it should be very small. Then only we can call it as quasi-static process. The processes which we discussed just now, they can be assumed to be quasi-static processes. Now let's discuss each one in detail. During an isothermal process, we already mentioned that temperature of the system remains constant. Throughout the process, temperature will not change. So during an isothermal process, since the temperature is remaining constant, we can say that its internal energy also remains constant, because temperature is a measure of internal energy. So the first law of thermodynamics, it becomes delta Q equal to delta W, because here delta U equal to 0, which is the change in internal energy. So whatever heat is given to the system, that is utilized to do some external work. Now, the examples for isothermal processes, they are melting, boiling, etc. Because melting and boiling, it takes place at constant temperature. Now, the equation of state to characterize as an isothermal process is PV equal to a constant. PV equal to a constant, this equation is obtained from the ideal gas equation, PV equal to nRT, because here temperature is a constant. So nRT, that term becomes constant, and we have the equation of state PV equal to a constant. So that is the equation of state. The expression for work done during an isothermal process is W equal to 2.303 RT log V2 by V1. So in the box you can see one equation, RT ln V2 by V1. So that ln stands for natural logarithm, and here we have written in terms of common logarithm which we have studied. So the expression for work done during an isothermal process is 2.303 RT log V2 by V1. Here R is the universal gas constant, T is that constant temperature at which the process is taking place, and V2 and V1, they are the volume of the system at the two stages. So final volume is V2 and initial volume is V1. Now we know that there is no change in internal energy of the system. So from the equation we can say that if V2 is greater than V1, if V2 is greater than V1, logarithm of that V2 by V1 will be a positive quantity and work done will be positive. If the work done is positive, it means that work is done by the system on the surroundings. And if V2 is less than V1, W will be negative, and it means that work is done on the system. Work done by the system means it is an expansion, and work done on the system means it is a compression. That means in an isothermal expansion, the gas, it absorbs heat and does work. And during isothermal compression, during that process, work is done on the gas by the surroundings and the heat is released. The system releases heat to the surroundings. So during isothermal expansion, it absorbs heat and expands, and during isothermal compression, it gets compressed. That means the work is done on the system and it releases heat energy to the surroundings. Now, during an adiabatic process, the system, it is insulated from the surroundings and there is no heat exchange between the system and surrounding. That means heat absorbed or released is equal to 0. The first law of thermodynamics, it takes the form for an adiabatic process like this, that is delta Q equal to 0. That's what is the meaning of adiabatic process. No heat exchange, no change in heat energy. So delta Q equal to 0, that's what we can write, delta Q equal to 0. Now that can be written as delta U equal to delta W, or delta U plus delta W equal to 0. That is the form of first law of thermodynamics. So this can be written as delta U equal to minus delta W. So what does this equation means? If the change in internal energy is positive, work done will be negative. That is the meaning. If the change in internal energy positive means if the internal energy is increasing, that is the meaning of positive internal energy. Positive change in internal energy. Internal energy is increasing. Then work is done on the system. That is the meaning of negative work done. If the work is negative, it means that work is done on the system. If work is positive, it means that work is done by the system. So here work done, it is negative when delta U is positive. It means that work is done on the system. That means it undergoes a compression. So as a result of adiabatic compression, the gas gets heated. That is the meaning of this statement, delta U equal to minus delta W. So if the system is undergoing adiabatic compression, its internal energy increases and the temperature also increases, or in short, adiabatic compression results in heating. Adiabatic compression results in heating. The other way we say, that means if delta U is negative, suppose delta U is negative, so what about delta W? It will be positive. If delta W is positive, it means that work is done by the system. That means it results in an expansion. The gas gets expanded. And here delta U is negative. Delta U negative means internal energy decreases. The temperature also decreases. And it means that the system is undergoing cooling process, or the gas is getting cooled. Or we can state otherwise that adiabatic expansion results in cooling of the system. Adiabatic expansion produces cooling. So adiabatic compression produces heating of the gas, and adiabatic expansion results in the cooling. Now, equation of state for an adiabatic process, there are three equations actually. First one is PV raised to gamma equal to a constant, and here gamma is the ratio of molar specific capacities at constant pressure and constant volume. And the second equation is Tv raised to gamma minus 1, a constant. And the third equation, it is P raised to 1 minus gamma, T raised to gamma, a constant. So there are three equations of state for an adiabatic process. Now let's discuss work done, expression for work done in an adiabatic process. So expression for work done is W equal to 1 by gamma minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2, or W equal to R by gamma minus 1 into T1 minus T2. So we already discussed, if work is done by the gas in an adiabatic process, then work done is positive, then it results in a cooling, we said. That means T2 is less than T1. We already said it results in a cooling. And if the work is done on the gas, then W will be less than 0. And we get T2 is greater than T1, and we say that it results in heating. So that is about adiabatic process and work done. Now the next process we have isochoric process. In an isochoric process, actually volume is remaining constant. Volume remaining constant means we know the expression for work done can be written as work done W. Delta W is actually P delta V, where delta V is the change in volume. So if there is no change in volume means delta V equal to 0. So what will be the work done? Work done will be equal to 0. So that is the case. During an isothermal process, work done is equal to 0. Therefore, the first law of thermodynamics, it takes the form delta Q equal to delta U, because delta W equal to 0. So the form of first law, it is delta Q equal to delta U. That means whatever heat is given to the system, it is used to raise the internal energy. So what heat is given, that results in the rise in internal energy, which causes the change in temperature or rise in temperature. So work done is 0. Now coming to next one, isobaric process. During an isobaric process, its pressure will be constant. There is no change in pressure. So the first law of thermodynamics, it takes the form delta Q equal to delta U plus delta W itself. So what heat is given to the system? Partly it is used to increase the internal energy and to do some external work. The expression for work done during an isobaric process, it is mu R into T2 minus T1, where mu is the number of moles of the gas. That is the expression for work done. Now for isochoric process and isobaric process, we can use the ideal gas equation as the equation of state. The ideal gas equation, which is PV equal to mu RT. Here we have a table showing all the points which we discussed for thermodynamic processes: isothermal process, adiabatic process, isochoric process and isobaric process. Features and equation of state, form of first law of thermodynamics, and expression for work done, everything is written here. Now we have the next point, that is cyclic process. A cyclic process, it consists of more than one process actually, and in a cyclic process, at the end of the cyclic process or at the end of one cycle of processes, the system returns to its initial state. That means you will have more than one thermodynamic processes, maybe 3 or 4, and that order of thermodynamic processes will be repeated again and again. So that's what we call as cycle. Okay, so at the end of one complete cycle, the system returns to its initial state. That's what we mean by cyclic process. So if the system returns to the initial state, it means that there is no change in internal energy. So for a cyclic process, delta U will be equal to 0. So total heat absorbed will be equal to work done by the system as per this first law of thermodynamics, because delta U equal to 0. So delta Q will be equal to delta W. So that is how cyclic processes. Actually, in the case of heat engine and refrigerator, we use a cycle of processes which will be repeated again and again to cause cooling in refrigerator and to convert heat energy to work in heat engine. So that is about cyclic process. Now coming to the last topic, second law of thermodynamics. There are two statements for the second law, Kelvin-Planck statement and Clausius statement. We have already discussed the zeroth law and first law of thermodynamics. Here we have the second law of thermodynamics. So according to Kelvin-Planck statement, no process is possible whose sole result is the absorption of heat from a reservoir and complete conversion of the heat into work. That means we have the expression regarding the first law, delta Q equal to delta U plus delta W. So the complete absorption of heat during some processes, we already said delta Q equal to delta W, but that process is not that much possible. That's what Kelvin-Planck statement says. Delta Q equal to delta W means what? The whole heat absorbed is converted to work done. So we cannot have such a process in which the entire heat absorbed from the reservoir means a source of energy. The entire heat absorbed from a reservoir, it cannot be converted completely to useful work. That's what the Kelvin-Planck statement says. No process is possible whose sole result is the absorption of heat from the reservoir and complete conversion of heat into work. Now Clausius statement says that no process is possible whose sole result is the transfer of heat from a colder object to a hotter object. The reverse is familiar to us. That means heat always flows from a hot body to a cold body, from the hot body to the cold surroundings. That is the usual practice. The reverse, can the heat flow from cold body to the hot body? It cannot happen as usual. We have to do it forcefully. That's what Clausius statement says. No process is possible whose sole result is the transfer of heat from colder object to hotter object. Now, a term, reversible and irreversible process. A reversible process means it is a process which can be taken place in the reverse order, so that the system and surroundings, it passes through the same states as it was during the forward process. Okay, so we know ice melts, water is formed. When water freezes, ice is formed. But during that process, both the system and surroundings should pass through the same conditions. Through what condition the system and surroundings is going through during the forward process, we say melting. Through the same conditions the system and surroundings should pass through in the reverse process. Then if this condition is satisfied, we say that process is reversible. So a reversible process is one which can be retraced in the reverse order, so that it passes exactly through the same state as in the direct process. And there are certain conditions for this reversibility. All steps of the process must be infinitely slow. So there is the first condition is this, that is the process should take place at slow rate, as we said, in a quasi-static process. And loss of heat due to friction, viscosity, resistance, etc. should be completely absent. That means during forward process, if some work is done against a friction, that cannot be obtained back during the backward process or the reverse process. So such things should not be there. There should not be any friction, there should not be any buoyancy or viscosity. Such things should not be there. Temperature and pressure of the system must not change considerably from the surrounding at any stage. And for example, slow evaporation of a substance in an insulated container, the slow compression of a spring, melting and boiling, ideal case of adiabatic and isothermal process. And any process which cannot be retraced in the opposite direction by reversing controlling factors is called an irreversible process. The process which are not reversible can be called as irreversible processes. So with that, we have come to the end of the lesson. Thank you.